Hi, this is Renee Gillard, and I'm at my Joom 3D office about to go into one of the most important meetings of my life. And I think that's where I wanted to start my leadership story at. I have been a leader ever since I was a young child. I started at the age 12 when my grandfather taught me about money. And I would go to his office and I would go through all of his stocks and his bonds, and I would put everything in an Excel spreadsheet for him at 12 years old. And at that point, I knew that I wanted to have control of my own life. And I knew that in order to do that, I had to be an entrepreneur, which meant that I also had to be a leader. And I also got a lot of my leadership skills from my grandmother. She's 89 years old and still runs 3 nonprofits. That's the start of my story. Then we have my parents who have brought me up to really be as independent as possible and also to help people. And I think that's where my leadership is driven from, is the ability to help others. With Joom 3D, we are devising a large 3D printer that is going to allow people from around the world to be able to 3D print houses from 500 to 3,000 square feet in little under 8 to 10 hours. This is incredible for people that don't have housing. There are millions of people around the world by 2020 that will not have housing. There's about 2 billion that we're looking at right now. And Joom 3D and my leadership skills are going to allow us to get into the markets and help all of these people with a 3D printed house. I also think that leadership has a lot to do with influence and using your influence to the greatest of your ability. Influential people around the world that I've seen can be from different presidents to Oprah Winfrey, Barack Obama, all of these different people around the world that have had millions of people following them and loving what they're doing in this world. That's really where leadership starts for me. That's where my story is, within that influence that I have been able to get all of these amazing people with Joom 3D to follow Paul and I, my business partner, without them getting any payment for what they're doing, because we have not closed a large funding source yet, of which we're about to do today. And this is really going to catapult our business to being able to 3D print homes in America and help people who are low to medium income get housing. There's a huge number of housing that's needed in America. And I know that the only way that we are going to be successful in this is if I am a strong, independent leader that leads from the heart and that takes into consideration what other people are feeling and thinking, and that is a servant leader. That is extremely important to me. Serving the most amount of people that I can in a way that I am not using them. I'm using their skills to the best amount of their ability and helping influence these people to get to a higher and a more loving, kind, and more beautiful world than we already live in. And I really think that housing and allowing people to have a home that really suits them and that's not just a cardboard box or tin, that is something that will last for a long time. And that's why I decided to do this doctorate program, is that I knew as a world leader of bringing all of these housing to India and the Dominican Republic and other places that I was going to have to decide where we would go first and bring those people with me as that influential leader into these different countries. There's a lot of political favor that goes into that. There is so many people that you have to communicate with and get them on your side in order to just even get a conversation with the government in most of these places. So as a leader, I've been able to do that and meet the right people and communicate with the right people using LinkedIn and other sources. So my vision for my leadership is really creating that influence and getting millions of people to follow Joom 3D, also being a servant and serving as many people as I can to help them in any way that I can. And I truly thank Brandman and all of the cohort members for everything that they've helped me with to get this far. And I appreciate you all. Thanks, Dr. J, as well.